Bus driver, not paying attention. 6-year-old in the bus driver's care dies. Put up the picture of the child. I want you to keep that picture up. A New Jersey school bus monitor has now been charged in the death of a 6-year-old. 27-year-old Amanda Davila put her picture up. She was a New Jersey school bus monitor, was charged with manslaughter and child endangerment after authorities say she decided to use her cell phone instead of engaging in her job. She failed to notice the 6-year-old with special needs was being suffocated by a seat belt the entire time. Let's put the child back up. The child, whose name is Faja Williams, boarded a bus on Monday morning, headed to an extended school year program outside of New York City. The bus monitor secured the young 6-year-old in her wheelchair at the back of the bus and then proceeded to sit toward the front with earbuds in both ears and eyes on her phone rather than on the child. That's according to authorities. On the way to school, the bus drove over several bumps in the road. That's normative, that's common. These bumps caused the 6-year-old to slump in her wheelchair. The 4-point harness strap to a chair tightened around her neck, making it difficult for her to breathe. That's according to the county prosecutor. Let's put up the other picture. Her parents stated the young girl was diagnosed with Emanuel syndrome as a baby, a rare chromosome condition. It left her unable to speak, unable to walk. First responders were called to the Claremont Elementary School after the child was found unresponsive. They performed CPR before rushing her to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead. Davila was charged with second-degree manslaughter and second-degree endangering the welfare of a child. Prosecutors say she violated, quote, policies and procedures, but she was wearing her earbuds and looking at her cell phone. She's currently being held at the Somerset County Jail awaiting a detention hearing. Let's put up the father, man. Man, I feel sorry for this brother, man. Wally Williams told NBC New York, quote, she didn't have oxygen in her brain for almost 40 minutes. Do you understand the image that we got in our head of our daughter the last time that we seen her? What we had to go through? The mother, let's put her up. So sorry. Told reporters, quote, she was the sweetest kid you'll ever meet. She had the sweetest little laugh, her dimples. And she just endured so much in her 6 years to be taken away from us in such a way that had nothing to do with her condition. The reason why the parents are saying that is because they led a lifestyle to make sure that their daughter could survive the disease. So they made sacrifices and adjustments because that was their biggest fear. And then they get a call that their child did not die of the disease. Child died because of a negligent bus monitor. Nash told the New York Times that she was devastated when she learned of this negligence. She pressed the Franklin Township Board to survey the transportation companies they contract with to ensure that they're going to take care of our children. The bus Faja was riding is owned by Took Transit in Somerset, which partnered with the board. The Times said the company directed inquiries to Orange County Transit, which did not immediately respond to a request for comment. There's only so much that parents can do. This will never happen again if I have any say so, Nash noted. That's turning tragedy into power, allowing the tragedy of life to be the catalyst for you to make a difference in the future so other children will never have to experience this. It is usually the last thing left when tragedy like this happens. Doc, as a psychiatrist, I know you understand exactly what these parents are going through, what they're trying to do to hold on to some level of dignity and memory and hope that the life of their daughter was not in vain, that the death can actually mean something, as ironic as that sounds, and they're reaching and trying. The negligence of this bus monitor, unbelievable, but it is here. What are your thoughts?
I really completely agree. I mean, it's such a senseless death of a child. It's really such a heartbreaking story and such a preventable story. And so in a way, just trying to make sense of something like this kind of loss. I hear this kind of narrative. Also, as you know, I interview a lot of parents of mass shooting victims, and it's kind of like, how do you create some kind of narrative that makes sense to me, let alone turn it into some kind of social good in the aftermath of such a senseless death, but also a death that's based in a failure of trust, right? We trust schools, we trust society, we trust the workplace to take care of our children, and when that contract is broken, it's just such a trauma on so many levels. And it also, is in my mind just how many of the stories we've been talking about today are about kind of society not working because the people who should be taking care of us or other people or our kids are falling down on the job, a judge, a security guard, somebody like this. And so I think this question of trust and society is one that we really need to ask more, but in our polarized society, we're actually asking it less.
Very well said, dear brother. Very well said.